G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another episode of Wasteland Survival. So today I'm going to be finishing off this shooting range, or at least I plan to finish it off. We'll see what happens and how much time we have. Now in the comments of last week's video, people mentioned that I should probably put I don't know, like kind of a window here so that people can kind of observe the shooting range from here. And this whole single door thing is kind of bugging me a little bit. So I would like to add a second door somewhere. Now I'm thinking what I'll do is put a window here, and then on the side here we can add in some doors. So let's go ahead and just get rid of everything on my inventory. We'll get rid of these storage shelves here and put all that in there. Now, where do I actually want to start my windows? So I'm thinking, wait, we're on the wrong side. I'm thinking I might put my doors here and just kind of go through here, and then I'll go off to the side here by one block, and then we'll kind of enter the room through here. And then obviously I'm going to have to get rid of this desk here, so we'll get rid of that, and we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. And what I may do here is add in the new doors that were added in, I think it was the Warfare update. I can't remember exactly which update it was. I'll make them this color. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a sliding door with a hatch. But we're going to use, this door here. Now, normally I would like to use these offset doors, but the problem with these offset doors is they have this little bit on the side here. Let me just, so this part here kind of isn't going to work with what I have planned. So we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this door after about 10 years worth of grinding. And I'll get rid of all this stuff as well, because I'm going to put my doors here. Alright, let's get rid of these blocks too. This block as well. And then I think it was through here, this block, and then this block too. Alright, cool. So I've gotten rid of all that stuff. So now we can start building it out how I kind of want it to be. So I'm thinking I will use the windows. I'm going to use these windows here. The ones that were added in the last update. I can't remember exactly which one it is. Is it the Warfare? Yeah, these windows here. So I'm thinking I'll place a window here like this. Let's withdraw materials for this one. And it won't let me place it because obviously I need something to attach it to up the top. But I can, strangely enough, I can place this one down. Okay. So we want probably this window here, that window there like that, and then place in our corner window like this, and another one like that, and then put in our straight window. Now I was thinking about using these windows out here in the hallway, because they do actually look quite good. The only problem is though, when the character's standing, his head is kind of right at the top of the window, which kind of limits your visibility. Whereas I feel these windows here that I'm planning to use, they would just have much better visibility than the other windows that that I was thinking about using. Now, obviously on the side here, I'm going to need to put in like some sort of a steel plate. So I'm thinking maybe I could use one of these blocks here. So just one of these, and then I could put my door in front of that, or I could use these light armor panels. So I'm not sure which way I want to go yet. For the moment, maybe we'll just use the light armor panels. So I'll place those in there, and then we'll see how that looks. Alright, let's get all this stuff welded up. Alright, cool. All that stuff is now welded up, so now I can go ahead and place in my doors. So I think I'll grind this block away, and then I can go ahead and add in my doors. See, and you kind of see what I mean. Like if I was to add this door here, it's got this ugly bit kind of hanging out, and I don't really like that too much. So I think I'm going to go for these half sliding doors here. So what we'll do is we'll spin this around, and then we'll just place our door there like that. And I'll spin it around again, and then we'll place it there. And then we've got this nice flat edge where people can kind of observe through here. I also want to place a light in here as well, but I guess we'll see how we go. So let's get these things welded up. Fantastic. All right, those are done. Are they the dark gray? Yes, they are. All right, cool. So that's the color I want. I may get rid of these boxes though, because they are kind of in the way. Oh well, we'll worry about that in a moment. Okay, so now obviously through here it looks okay. I guess I could put in a block here, but yeah, see, I would really like it to kind of meet up with this, but I just don't think that's going to be possible because, yeah, over this side, I need this space here free so that I can walk through here. I guess I could move the door over a little bit and maybe put the door there. I don't know. We'll see how we go and we'll see how things are looking. But what I do need to do is kind of seal this room off from the other one. So I'm going to get rid of these blocks here. And then I'll probably add in some of these blocks. So the light armor inverted corner 2x1 base. Man, that's a mouthful. Alright, place those in there like that. And then here we'll just place a regular square block. And we'll get these things welded up. And then, just to give the room a little bit more shape, I could add something in like this. So maybe we could go with a 2x1 tip just here. And then I can use some of the new blocks that were added in the last update, which is these ones here. And place them there like that. Make sure I get the right ones. And I think that doesn't look too bad actually. It is a little bit strange though because I've got this part here. Maybe I can make these like the dark grey. Let's see how that looks. Let's make that dark grey. And then potentially even this block here as well. Yeah, actually that looks pretty good. I think I'll leave that the way it is, just like that. Maybe potentially I could add in some sort of additional block there, but that's alright. For now I think this looks pretty good. Alright, so now what door to put here? Well, first of all, I need to add in, I think I might go for some interior walls. So let's grab some sci-fi interior walls here. It is strange how they put the cylinders in with these interior walls, but that's alright. Okay, so I think I'll go something like this. So I'll place in one of these like that, then like that, and then like that. And then I think that will look pretty cool. And potentially I could even make the roof out of these blocks as well. But let's get these walls welded up first and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. And then probably up here. Yeah, I think I will get rid of this block and replace it with an interior wall. So we can do something like this. I could use the old school interior walls, like these ones here. That might look a little bit cooler. I don't know. Decisions. Nah, I think I'm going to use the sci-fi interior walls. So let's place in some sci-fi interior walls. And potentially I could use this side. I could even use that side. We could even use this side. I think I might actually use that side. Yeah, maybe we'll go for that side. And then maybe here we can put in one of these piped ones. Yep, we'll do that. Is that attached to something? Yes, it is. Now I think I can get rid of these blocks here. Is that just a... yeah, that's just a square light armor block. And then we can go ahead and place in our sci-fi interior walls. So I'll probably go for these ones again. Now which side did I use? I think it was this side, wasn't it? So we'll place two of those in there like that. Alright, let's weld these up and see how it looks. Yeah, that actually looks pretty decent. Except, probably should move that over one side. Actually, you know what? I think I might go for this this side of that wall. Yeah, I think I am going to change that. We'll go with that side because it looks a little bit better, I reckon. So let's place in those. So we'll go for this side here. And then what I'll do is I'll put this kind of bar on the inside like that. And then we'll place that one there like that. Cool. Alright, that looks pretty good actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, just need to put in some lights so we can actually see what we're doing. Now, the question is, what door do I want to put here? Now, I can actually go ahead and place in this door here, my offset door, which I usually like to use. Because, yeah, it'll kind of be hidden, or the side piece will be hidden by this block. So, I think it's going to work out quite nicely if I use that door there. So, let's go ahead and weld up this door. And yeah, fantastic. So that looks pretty good. So let's close that. And yeah, I don't mind that. That actually looks pretty cool. Alright, so now I just need to do the other side and then think of it, which color light I want to light up this area a little bit. I think I might, I'm tempted to go for the regular lights that I use, but maybe I'll use an orange light. But first, we need to finish off this side. Alright, so the other side is now complete, doors are in, and everything should be airtight, at least in this room. Obviously the other room won't be airtight because, yeah, that's, yeah, and there we go. This is airtight. Yeah, as I was saying, there are gigantic holes in the roof, so that is definitely not going to be airtight. Oh, I just noticed this block is not dark grey. That's alright, I'll sort that out in a minute. Now, as I was welding all of this up, I was kind of thinking to myself, well, what I can do instead of doing it this way is I can actually use the passage blocks. So we could get rid of this thingy-majig here. And then we could go ahead and add in some passages. So, and actually, while I was looking at these passages, one thing I noticed was, yeah, there's a passage 3 corner and a passage 3 cross and a passage 3 with a light, and then obviously a T-junction. But there aren't the same blocks for the passage 2, which I think is a bit, yeah, not really that cool, because I mean, obviously that means you kind of need to have a DLC to get corner blocks, which is a bit not great. So yeah, I didn't really notice that before, but yeah, anyway, as I was saying, we could place one of these passages in like that, spin this around, put a passage here. Maybe here we could put a passage with a light. So we could add one of those there, but then here we can't add in anything because obviously this is a offset door and it takes up this entire block's spacing, even though it only kind of, yeah, shows up there. So I guess what I could do instead of using this door is I could get rid of this one. Man, those things take a while to grind down. And then we could put in maybe another one of those blast doors. So we could place one of those, wait, we want a sliding hatch door. So I would place it like this. And we could place a door in like that. And so let's weld all this stuff up and see how it looks. I must admit, I don't know if I'm completely sold on these passages. I kind of do like the other look a little bit better. But that's just me. But I mean, I guess we can weld this up and we'll see how it looks and then make our judgment after that. Okay, so yeah, we could do something like that. And then obviously this lights up the whole passageway. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you like this version better or do you like this version better? Put on my light here. I am kind of leaning towards this idea here. But I do kind of see the appeal of this passageway. It is a bit, yeah, they always feel so cramped though. Let's adjust this light first though. So yeah, so there's not too much light bleed through. It does look pretty cool like this. And then obviously we have our door there. I guess it kind of makes sense having blast doors here, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But for now, what do I want to do next? Okay, so there are still a few things I need to do in here. So obviously I need to add in some blocks underneath these targets here. Now, when I was editing the last episode, I stupidly realized that I didn't even need to put these blocks here. I literally could have just put in conveyor junctions underneath here and just, yeah. I don't know why I didn't even think of that before, but yeah, hey, well, I've thought of it now, but the problem is that it's too late now. I'd have to redo these hinges, redo all the timer blocks, and honestly, I really can't be bothered doing that stuff. So I just need to fill these bits in, put a conveyor junction underneath this block. And I mean, from here, you're not going to see it anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can do about that. And then I think maybe I will add in... Maybe we can add in some sort of railing here to prevent myself from falling down. Wait, railing center. Oh, I didn't see that one before. That's awesome. So yeah, I could add a railing there, and then obviously a railing there because we've got a stop, or we've got a gap there to put a railing. Don't know what I would do on this side. I don't think I would place a railing at all, or maybe I could place in a catwalk with a railing on one side. So maybe something like that, or maybe just a little bridge kind of catwalk like that. Maybe we can do something like that. But for the moment, I'm going to fill in these floor bits and put in the conveyor junctions. Alright, well, I was going ahead and planning to place in all these conveyor junctions and all that sort of jazz. So I've drilled a hole basically through the floor, leading up to this conveyor junction here that sits behind the piston. And then I was about to drill a hole to this target up here, and then I kind of realized that I never put a conveyor junction down there. So unfortunately, I am going to have to grind this thing down and then go ahead and, yeah, add in the conveyor junction. And you know what? While I'm here and I'm going ahead and I'm grinding this out and putting a conveyor junction there, I should probably just go ahead and do the same thing for these hinges here. Or do I? I don't know. My lazy side is saying, no, you don't need to. Don't worry about it. Just use this. But, yeah, my pedantic side is saying, no, change it out and do it properly. So, yeah, I don't know. We will see which side wins the argument. Okay, well, I've gone ahead and I've completed all of my modifications. I've reset up all the timer blocks with these targets and everything is working the way it was before. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. And yeah, as you can see, I have my conveyor junctions sitting down there at the bottom. Now, there was one other thing that I wasn't really too happy with in this room, and this is kind of this whole setup here. I don't know if I really like it where it is, so I think I may even add an additional target. So I first want to get rid of these blocks here on the corner, so I'll get rid of these, and I'll get rid of these blocks here on the side as well. And I think instead what I'll do is I will extend this out so that it's kind of centered, because the whole fact that it's like not centered in the room is kind of bugging me a little bit. I know it really probably shouldn't, but it is bugging me, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. Now, I think what I'll do here is I'll place in one of these blocks, and I want the slope to be, yeah, to meet up with the floor. So what we'll do is we'll place in these with these little corner pieces, and then I'll go ahead and I'll place in some 2x1 tips, so like these blocks here. So we'll place all of those in there like that, and we'll get these welded up. Cool, so they're welded up, and if we hang back to about this point, then I think they look a tiny touch, or that bit at the back looks a tiny touch better. And I think what I'll do as well is I will go ahead and add a second target here. So, and what I can do is, rather than this target opening up later than all the others, I can just make it go ahead and open up at the same time as the last one. So the last 2 targets open up together and you have 15 seconds to shoot them. Now, somebody in the comments mentioned that the target time should be around about 7 seconds. So I'm thinking, you know, that's not a bad idea. So it's great that people are commenting on what they think the target time should be. And that's probably what it should be, is 7 seconds. But I'm thinking what I can do is I can set up this button here to do the 15-second target range. And then this button here can be like hard mode, where I have a whole nother set of timers, another 6 timers, but I set them up to be at 7-second intervals. So, you know, we have the easy mode and then we have the hard mode. I think that would be pretty cool. But for the moment, let's go ahead and add in, well, let me first grab some components. So we will need a conveyor junction. I'll grab 2 of them just in case. Then we need ourselves a hinge, then a hinge part, and then finally we need our target, which is the target dummy. I'll grab 2 of those just in case, because last time I was building these things, Build Planner was really trolling me for whatever reason. Let's place in our conveyor down here, weld this up, and then we will place in our hinge. Whoops. Kind of forgetting how to use the jetpack here. Right, so we want our hinge. I'll spin that around so that the little mark is at the back. I'll color in this hinge this color, and then let's edit its properties. Okay, cool. So the properties are all edited for this. Let's just make sure that it does work. And yes, it does. Works the way I want it to. All right, now let's place our target dummy. Although first I need to grab the color from this one here. So we'll grab the color from this one, and then we'll place our target dummy down, although we'll spin this around like that. Okay, so then I just need to add in the steel plates, which I discovered in the last episode, which was pretty embarrassing. Okay, so what we're going to do is find our target timer. I think it's the last one. So target timer number 4, set up actions. So target 4 hinge is reverse. So we want target 5 hinge. We will reverse that one. Let's exit out of that one. Let's go to target 3 timer, set up actions. And we want target... Can I move that? No, I can't. That's all right. We'll go target 5 hinge, and we will reverse that as well. And then all I need to do is just reverse this, and then just test that this all works. And for some reason, I noticed this glitch when I was messing around with this before, but for some reason this target here, yeah, just I don't know what's going on with that, but some sort of graphical glitch. Anyway, let's start this timer and see if everything just works. Awesome. Okay, so both of these targets are popping up at the same time, and they should also pop down at the same time. I'm kind of hoping that this target here will pop down with that one, but for some reason, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But hey, it works, and it looks pretty good. So now I think what I will do is go ahead and place in some barriers here. I just need to find the block on my hotbar. Ah, here we go. Took me a while to find that. Alright, let's withdraw some components for a few of these. So I probably just want 2 of these. I'll just place one here and then one there, obviously, so that they're kind of blocking these targets. So from here you can't really see the hole in the ground, which is pretty much what I want. There's not too much I can do about this hole in the ground, but I think for here what I'm going to do is add in some of these railings. So I'll withdraw a whole bunch of these. Then I'll withdraw some graded catwalks. I'll just go with this one because that'll do. It'll have all the components I need. So what I'm going to do here is grab our railing, and we'll place one like that, and then another one like that. And I'll probably place it all the way around this whole setup just so that it kind of, yeah, has some aspect of safety here. And then here, what we can do is place in a catwalk. Now, I could go a half catwalk, or I could go a full catwalk. I think I might just go for a... maybe I'll go for a half catwalk. So one of these. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And I'll weld that up. Now, I do believe that that is attached to these blocks here. Although, correct me if I'm... Oh, actually, it might actually be attached to the piston. So, yeah. Okay, fantastic. So all of those are welded up, and I think the room is looking pretty sweet. Now, there is another thing that I would like to add. I would actually like to add a flashing light in this room. I don't know where I am going to add it, though, but would be nice if we had a rotating light to begin when all of this stuff begins. So let me see where I can place this. I'm thinking maybe I could place them here, I guess. So let me place one there and then one there as well. And let's get these welded up. Cool. Wow, the rotation speed on those is pretty high. I wonder if you can adjust that. Let's see here. Rotation speed. So, I'll have to play around with this and try and figure out a decent rotation. So maybe we'll go like 50. Maybe let's go for 30. Yeah, I think 30 is a decent speed. All right, let's change this one to 30 as well. Okay, cool. So both of those are changed to 30. Now, what color do I want to make these things? I'm thinking either red or yellow. So we'll try out yellow first and see how we go with that. Okay, so that's yellow, but it's a very, very bright yellow. Maybe we can make it a little bit more of a dirty yellow. So let's find our rotating lights again. And maybe I'll just dial this down a little bit. So maybe we'll go for like 170 and 0. Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit of a better... yeah, that's a little bit better. Alright, cool. So we'll leave that. And now what I want to do is set up a group for these. So let's find our rotating lights once more. And let's make a group out of these. So shooting range, rotating lights, I guess. Let's save that. Okay, and then what I'll need to do is find my timer block once again. So I want the first timer. So target 1, timer 1. We'll go set up actions. Let's find our rotating lights. Shooting range, rotating lights. We'll turn these toggle block on. And then on the last timer, so target 4 timer, we'll go to set up actions. And I will set the rotating lights to turn off. So toggle block off. And now these things, let's first turn them off and see what happens. So rotating lights, let's turn these off. Cool, so they're turned off. And now when we press the button, they should turn on. Fantastic, and they do. And then the targets start going. And then once these last 2 targets pop down, then those lights should also turn off. I think this is a nifty little feature. And then maybe also what I was thinking of doing is putting a second set of lights throughout this room. So maybe we could go for like red lights all along the roof. We could create a separate group for those lights and then group the existing lights. And then when you push this button, the lighting in the entire room changes to like orange or red, and these lights turn off. And then once the whole process is complete, and all of the targets have popped up and then popped back down, then the lighting changes back to its default level, which is these white lights here. So I think maybe I'll do something like that as well. So now when these targets pop down, these rotating lights should turn off, and they do. Fantastic. All right. So I think that's a nifty little feature. All right. So I think I am definitely going to add in these lights on the roof. I think that would be a nice little touch. So let's go ahead and add in all these lights all the way along here and then get these things programmed. Alright, so I've got my second group of lights. I've grouped all the primary ones and then I've grouped all of the secondary ones. So what we'll do is we will turn off, you know what, I think I'm going to build in a control seat here because it's just going to be a little bit easier to, whoa, what is going on there? That was a bit strange. I think it's going to be easier if we just sit in this seat while we set up these lights. Okay, so let's find our shooting range. So we've got our primary lights. Let's turn those off so we have no lights left. Then our secondary lights, let's probably set these to 170 and 100, which is like the accent color I've got throughout the entire base. The radius, I'll probably set these to about 12 meters, so 12.5 meters. Fall off will be 2 meters. Intensity will be 0.8, so like quite low. Maybe we could go with like a red light, so maybe we could do something like that. Maybe dial it up so it's like a dark orange. I wonder how that looks. The intensity is set pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It does look a little bit weird, to be honest. But I'm thinking as well, what I may do is get rid of these blocks here. And add in some spotlights. So we have a little bit of light here that is like an accent type color, and then we also have the spotlights so we can actually see what we are actually doing. So let's weld these up and see how these look. Alright, so that looks pretty good, I think. So we have the red light and then we have the spotlights. There is quite a bit of haze happening here, but I think it still looks quite good. So what I'll do though is I think I'm going to add these spotlights to the secondary group. Although I would like to turn down their intensity. What is their intensity? Let's maybe go for 0.5 for the intensity for these. And let's do the same for this one and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so that's both of them with a 0.5 intensity. Yeah, I think that looks really good. This really gives it another aspect of feeling and depth. I'm really liking this whole setup. Okay, so what I need to do now is name these two spotlights and then add them to the group. Okay, so now all of these lights are added to the group. Now we just need to set it up in the timer blocks. So it's going to be exactly the same as these rotating lights. We're just going to add them to, yeah. In fact, I could even just add the rotating lights to the group as well so that they turn on as well. All right, let's just do that. Okay, I renamed them and I added those to the same group. So let's turn off these spotlights. So let's go to, what did I just do? Okay. Hopefully I pressed some button and I've done something. I don't know what I've done, but oh well. Okay, let's turn all of these off. Let's turn on the primary lights, which is the lights that we had before. Let's exit out of here. Let's go into our timer block. In fact, let's find our timer block. Target 1 timer, set up actions. I will remove that. Then we'll go for shooting range, secondary lights. We'll toggle this block on. Let's get rid of that. Seems like the Reavers are coming to check out my new shooting range. Alright, and let's find our groups again. Shooting range. And the secondary lights, we will turn these off. Oh, that's right. We need to turn on our primary lights on. So toggle those on. Need to go back into target 1, timer 1, set up actions, find our groups, and then turn on the shooting range lights once more, or turn off these ones. So what did I set this one? Shooting range, yeah, that's on, so I want to turn these off. Okay, yeah, it's weird because it says on here and it says off here, but you need to go by this here. So okay, let's exit out of this seat. Let's jump out of the seat, and then let's push the button and see what happens. Cool. And everything works as it was, yeah, intended to. I gotta admit, I'm not sure about these rotating lights now that I've got all this red lighting and stuff like that. Maybe I might remove these rotating lights. I don't know. But, I mean, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But so far, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. This is absolutely awesome. Yeah, just the whole aesthetic of this room is just fantastic. So... okay, well, all the lights work as expected, and they turn off the moment those 2 rear targets pop down. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. The only thing I'm really not sure about is these spinning lights here. I don't know if I really like them. Yeah, kind of the white lights from these spotlights, the red lights of the roof, and then coupled with these yellow lights. The colors don't really mix that well, so... I don't know, let me just turn it on again and I'll kind of give you an idea of what I mean. Yeah, like, I don't know, I kind of find them a little bit distracting when they're behind you. Also the fact that, yeah, the color, the 3 different colors just doesn't really work too well. And honestly, if you are the person in here kind of shooting at the targets, then you don't really need a warning to say that there is live fire going on in this room. So I feel as if maybe I should take these lights and then just put them out here somewhere. So perhaps what I can do is, yeah, just place them here somewhere. So I'm thinking I could add them up there. So let's get rid of these lights here. But first though, what I'll do is I'll just copy the settings for these. So what do we got? We got 170 and 0 and intensity 6. Wow, okay. Rotation speed is 30. Okay. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Alright, let's go and place 2 of these on the roof up here. Okay, well I've moved the lights to here. Well, I haven't exactly moved them, I just created 2 new ones. So I'm going to get rid of these 2. And then I'm just going to add the 2 that are sitting out there to the same group that is basically in this shooting range. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, fantastic. So I've gone ahead, I've added these to the group. So now when I push the button inside the shooting range, then they should go off. So we don't have the lights in here anymore, which I think looks a little bit better. We've got our targets moving, and then we have the lights in here to warn people that there is a live fire exercise going on in this room here. Would be nice if I could kind of distance these lights down a little bit. I suppose what I could do is actually place them on the bottom of...
fuel low.
Can I actually do that? So...
fuel critical.
I might have to get myself some fuel to find out. So I'm thinking maybe what I could do instead is just place these on the bottom of pillars. So like just these interior pillars here. But the thing is, I don't know if I have any space left to do that. Alright, let me get some jetpack fuel and we'll kind of check this out and see if we do. Okay, so I'm just sitting up here checking this out and it doesn't look like we have the space to do so. So obviously this block here is taking up this space, which is immediately underneath this block, and then this light here is taking up this space. So if I want this light to go down on the bottom of a pillar, then the light itself is going to interfere with this block. So I've got 2 choices. Either I just leave it the way it is, or I get rid of these blocks on the side and have my light coming down. But you know, I think I might just leave it the way it is. It's not too prevalent, the light, but it is still there. So there is still kind of a warning going on that this stuff is happening. I suppose I could dim these lights here at the same time, but nah, I can't even do that really, because I don't think you can just dim lights with a timer block. I think the only thing you can do is yeah, turn them on or off. Actually, let me just check if you can do that. Let's go to setup actions here. And what options do I have? I've got decrease intensity. So I suppose you could do that. So it just depends on how much this decreases the intensity by. So maybe you could, like, I don't know, if every time you set this setting it decreases by 0.5, maybe you could like put this in the timer block 3 times and then it would decrease the intensity by 1.5. But you know what? I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm pretty happy with how everything has turned out now. So yeah, and there you go. You can see the lights turn off as those last targets kind of pop down. All right, so we're going to get rid of this seat. I think I will leave this hole in the wall here because having access to this cargo container is kind of handy. Now, there is one other thing that I want to do with this room. So, first of all, I think I would like to change this angle here because maybe instead of these blocks here, I can swap these out with something a little bit different. Although I don't know what I am going to swap them out with. Let me see what kind of blocks I have available to me. Okay, so I think I'm just going to get rid of these blocks here and then just place in these ones. And then just place in some regular square blocks here. So let's just find our square blocks like that. And I think that looks just a little bit better. Of course, I've run out of steel plates. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer. And then obviously I just need to go ahead and do the same on the other side. And we should probably think about sealing this room up as well. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Okay, so this side is now complete. I don't think I'm going to have any interference issues with these, but I might just test this out. I didn't even think about that when I went ahead and added that block in. Nah, the interference is fine. There is no interference there, so that should be all good. I suppose what I could do as well is maybe on this side, I could add in some 2x1 tips that kind of go like this. I don't know if I like that look or not though, so let's just weld these up and just see how it looks. Yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer it without these blocks. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer. So yeah, we'll just leave it like that. I suppose I could put a... I could do something like this maybe. Just put in some of these light armor tips here and put one of those there and then half block there. Nah, that's alright. I'm just going to leave it the way it is for now. So let's pop this turret back down, or this target. Okay, so because the back wall is kind of obscured, I don't really need to go into any kind of fancy design here. I think what I'll do is I'll just place in a block like this and do the same on this side. Actually, what kind of setup do I have on that side? Okay, so I've got my blocks like this, and yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter what kind of arrangement I put here because you're not really going to see it that much, so we'll just go for something standard like that, and then we'll just weld these up, and then at least this back wall will be airtight. Okay, so that is done. Now I need to kind of find the center of the room. So I believe it is this point here. So it would be this pillar. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place a build and repair system underneath the floor here. So let me just find the center. So this is the center that way, and this is the center this way. So let's just half grind that block out. And do I have a hole left in the floor from these blocks? No, I don't. That's alright. I could probably just grind away this block here, and then we can gain access to underneath the floor. And let's just drill this out here. And then I can just place my build and repair system here. And essentially what the build and repair system is going to do is it's going to repair like the walls, the roof, and everything else that gets hit by a bullet, apart from these targets. I don't even know if the build and repair system is capable of re-welding up these turrets. Because as you saw when I built them, you actually needed to put steel plates into the inventory of these targets for them to actually weld themselves up. So I don't know how the build and repair system behaves in relation to those target dummies. So I may just pipe them up anyway, because yeah, it kind of just makes sense to do so. Alright, so let's withdraw some materials for this thing. Wow, it actually needs quite a bit. The good thing about these build and repair systems is that you don't really need to worry about half of this thing being underground. It really doesn't matter. I know some blocks in the game, they really don't like being put half underground, so that's a bit of a shame, but this block is not one of those, so it works out rather nicely. Okay, so this thing is now welded up, so let's go into here, and I want to... do I want this stuff to build? Okay, so I want fly mode. I want weld before grind. Man, it's been... Alright, so I'll turn build new off. Weld functional only. Well... there's a misspelling there. Bok. Okay, alright. And then what I want to do here is turn on the show area so I can see the area of this thing. Okay, so the area width. Right, so which way is the width? I do believe that all of the directions are buried underground, so we're going to have to grind this out to see what's what. Okay, so that's the front, that's the rear. So this here is the width, and then this way is the length, and then this is the height. So the height, because it goes both ways, we need it to be... So I wonder if it's from the middle of this block, or from the middle of this point, or where. That's right, I can make it go slightly over. So what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 2, 3, call it 4, and then 5, and about 6 blocks. Maybe I'll go 7, so that it can repair the air vents and those blocks above them, which would be the pipes. So we need 2 times 7, so that's 14 blocks, and 14 by 2.5 is 35 meters. So we'll set the height to 35 meters. Cool. That's 35 meters. Now the width would be this way. So how long, or how many blocks long is this room? I'll probably go from this point here. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, plus another 10. So it's 21 blocks. So 21 times 2.5 is 52.5 meters. So we will set the depth to 52.5 meters. Sorry, the width. So we'll set the width to 52.5 meters. Fantastic. All right, that's set. And now we just need to set the depth. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for that block. And then, hang on, let me count this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that block. So 10 plus the block in the middle, so we need 11 blocks. So 11 times 2.5 equals 27.5. Okay, so this last dimension should be 27.5. And this should prevent this thing from basically welding up stuff that I don't want it to. And yeah, as you can see, the length ends exactly where I want it to. And if I am to grind out this block and maybe drill into the wall a little bit, we should see the other extent of this. Yeah, cool. Critical. So it encompasses this block, which means it will repair this wall if it gets damaged, which is exactly what I want it to do. And then if we go up into the roof cavity, then we should see it go quite high. I may need to increase this a little bit because I'm going to place a block here to block off these. And then above this will be pipes. So I may need to go another 5 meters on that one. So let's adjust the height at least to 5 meters. It must calculate the height from this point here then, if that's the case. Cool, so we'll go 40 meters on that. Let's go back up into the roof cavity and see what it looks like. Yep, so we can't see it anymore, so that means it is basically above this point here. Although if I am to kind of drill out a little bit up here, yep, you can kind of see this is the extent here. All right, fantastic. So now that that is all set up, I really need to plumb all of this stuff in. So I've got to run pipes all the way from the back of these things to this one, to then this one, and then to the build and repair, and then all the way over to this conveyor junction that sits behind this piston, and then all the way to here where there is another conveyor junction underneath this small cargo container. Alright, so I'll probably do that off camera because, yeah, it's going to be very boring and tedious process. Okay, so now everything is plumbed up and yeah, it should all work quite nicely. So if we go into the spectator camera here underneath the floor, you can kind of see that, yeah, the conveyor tube is running from this target here on the left. Well, the left, if you're looking at it from here, goes across to this one. Then we have a T-junction, pipe comes down, goes all the way to this target. Then from there, it goes through this conveyor, goes into this pipe, which then has a T-junction, goes into the build and repair, and then goes into that target there, and then spirals all the way around here and goes to the conveyor junction at the back of this piston, and then we have another T-junction that comes off that, and then goes all the way to where the cargo container is here in the room. So that should pretty much conclude everything that I need to get piped up. But now what I need to do is go ahead and add in my air vents. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many air vents I want to add into this room. I'm thinking, so how many spots do we have here? I don't know. I kind of feel as if 6 should be enough. So let's go ahead and withdraw a whole bunch of steel plates here. Okay, so got my steel plates ready to go. I had to quickly duck off and get some energy for myself as well because, yeah, I was kind of running a little bit low. So how many did I say I was going to do? 6. Yeah, okay, so we'll probably place them here. So I'm going to need to place in a block around these points here. So we'll place them there like that. And I said 6, didn't I? So we'll place our blocks there like that. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side as well. Okay, so that's all the blocks placed. Now we just simply need to weld all of these up. well, that is everything done now. So now the room is fully pressurized. Let me just check these air vents up here and make sure they're pressurized. Yep, they're all pressurized, so we're looking pretty good. Like I said, I think 6 air vents should be plenty enough for this room. What I decided to do was just build a small cargo container up in the roof, because it was much easier than coming down here to this cargo container there, and then when I was finished I just ground it down. So I think that saved me a lot of time, so it was definitely worth doing that. Now I do believe there is one final little change I would like to make to this room. So I think finally, before we round out this episode, I would like to change these wall blocks here to maybe something like the interior walls. So let's grab some interior wall components. And then what I would like to do is maybe change the color to the dark gray. And then what we can do is, what's it on this side? Yeah, so on this side I'll probably go for these ones here like that. And it just gives it a little bit more depth to the room. And so yeah, we'll do that all the way along, and I think it will just, yeah, add to the detail of this room. So let me go away and do this. Alright, fantastic. So that is all of these interior walls done. And yeah, I think it looks really good. It just adds that little bit more depth to this room, and just that little bit more detail. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with how this room turned out. In the last episode, I was really up and down about the whole arrangement of everything, but after adding in all these additional barriers, changing that bit at the end, putting in these interior walls, adding the extra target at the back, these lights, spotlights, and all the other various little bits and pieces, I think it's really given this room quite a lot of character, and I'm honestly really stoked with how it turned out. And yeah, it has kind of exceeded my wildest expectations, so yeah, I'm really happy with it. And yeah, by all means, let me know what you guys think of this room in the comments down below. But anyway guys, that is pretty much all I have time for in this episode of Wasteland Survival. So I really hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you learned something with all these timer blocks and stuff like that. And in the next episode we'll kind of button some other things up, maybe do the sensors for the doors, and maybe we'll do the low difficulty and the high difficulty on each one of these button panels. But yeah, anyway guys, really hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did like it, please consider leaving a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you get notified every time I release a new episode. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time.